How's it going?
How you doing?
Brian.
Brian. All right, what all are we hauling?
Pumping unit, separator.
We got to tear the damn thing down.
Can't take it like that?
Not unless you're ready to pay every fine I get, smartass.
Shipping Wars rose to fame for its unique concept of independent truckers bidding on unusual shipping jobs through uShip, an online marketplace. The show quickly gained momentum with its mix of competition, drama, and of course the challenges faced by truckers. However, as the wow factor wore off and viewers' interest waned, ratings declined, leading to the show's eventual suspension. So how did the once-loved TV show lose momentum? Let's find out. Shipping Wars debuted on January 10, 2012 and instantly became a hit, running for 7 seasons with a loyal fanbase that enjoyed watching the dynamic interactions between the shippers and the often bizarre cargo. The show's success was partly due to its diverse cast, each bringing their distinct personality and approach to the shipping business, making it more than just a show about transportation. It was about the people behind the wheel. The concept of the show was straightforward. Truckers would compete to bid on transporting various loads. The show then followed the trucker from the moment they pick up the load to its delivery, capturing every twist and turn along the way. As the truckers navigated highways and byways, viewers were treated to a breakdown of their expenses, the final payments, and whether the trip ended up being profitable or a financial disaster. The transparency of seeing every cent spent and earned added a layer of originality to each episode. But as with many good things, Shipping Wars experienced significant changes after its initial success that caused its downfall. Several factors contributed to the downfall of Shipping Wars, but the most significant was the unexpected death of its most beloved cast member, Roy Garber. Known as the Jack of all trades, Roy was a fan favorite due to its extensive knowledge, sharp wit, and the bond he shared with his cat, Muffy, who was often by his side during his shipping adventures. Roy's sudden passing from a heart attack at the age of 49 was a shock to the cast and fans alike. His death was deeply felt on the show and in the hearts of the viewers. Many believe that no one could fill the void left by Roy, whose presence had become a cornerstone of the series. After Roy's death, Shipping Wars continued, but things were never quite the same. The energy and dynamic he brought to the show were irreplaceable. Although the show managed to push through the rest of its 6th season, it was clear that something significant had been lost. Adding to the turbulence, Chris Hanna and Robbie Welsh, known as the Hotshot Couple, left the show at the end of Season 6 without any prior notice. The couple's departure left fans puzzled and disappointed, as they've become integral to the show's appeal. Robbie and Chris joined Shipping Wars in Season 2, and over time, they built a strong fan base. The production company, Megalomedia Inc., kept mute about the absence of the couple, and speculations that the Hotshot couple were let go under mysterious circumstances started gaining traction. Contrary to the speculations, the truth behind their exit was that Chris was caught watching explicit content. Additionally, the couple had always been deeply committed to their business, Palmetto Yacht Management. The demands of running a successful yacht transportation company required their full attention, especially as they began to expand their services to high-end clients across the United States. Also, Chris and Robbie have 2 young children, and balancing their roles as parents with the pressures of running a business was no small feat. With the absence of top truckers that had helped build the show's success, Shipping Wars struggled to maintain their momentum. Although new cast members were brought in to fill the gaps, they lacked the chemistry that the original cast had provided. The camaraderie and charm that made the original cast so enjoyable to watch were noticeably absent, leaving fans longing for the earlier days of the series. These changes undoubtedly shook the foundation of the show. As the show progressed into its 7th season, it became apparent that something was different. What once felt like an authentic glimpse into the activities of independent truckers now seemed overly staged and scripted. The spontaneousness that had endeared viewers to the show was replaced by predictable storylines and forced interactions. It was as if the soul of Shipping Wars had been lost in the shuffle, leaving behind a shadow of its former self. Despite these efforts to keep the show alive, it struggled to maintain its footing and eventually faded away, ending without a proper series finale. For fans who had invested their time in the journey and personalities of the original cast, this unceremonious conclusion felt like a disappointing end to what was once a beloved show, until a rebirth happened. In early 2021, there were whispers of a revival, but this time with an entirely new cast of transporters, and later that year, the show came back fresh and revived, or so we thought. The return of the show came signaling a fresh start with its 9th season. While the continuation of Shipping Wars excited some fans, it also raised a few concerns. First, there is no confirmation on whether any of the original cast members, like Mark, Jennifer, or Jarrett, will make cameo appearances. Their absence could be a significant drawback for longtime fans who cherish their unique quirks and chemistry. Second, the new iteration of the show was set against the backdrop of the 2019 disease breakout, a time when long-haul truck drivers face unprecedented challenges. Rest areas that were once a sanctuary for these drivers became potential hotspots for the disease, adding an extra layer of stress to an already demanding job. How the show will handle the harsh realities and whether it can recapture the essence of what made the original so special was questioned altogether. Nevertheless, the concept of the show still holds potential. The need to transport large objects from one place to another hasn't gone away, and the dynamics of bidding wars and the race against time can still make for compelling television. Many fans were eager to see how the show balances the old with the new, paying homage to the original while also adapting to the current times. There was hope that the new Shipping Wars might bring back some of the excitement and authenticity that made the show a hit in the first place. But all hopes were dashed when the new show smashed the break after airing the 16th episode on November 30th, 2021. While the show lost its momentum due to the death and absence of some of its original cast members, things were not much better behind the scenes. The production company, Megalomedia Inc., which was responsible for Shipping Wars, faced several legal challenges. For a start, a producer on the show, Jocelyn Shute, filed a lawsuit against Megalomedia Inc. in 2013, claiming she had not been paid for overtime work. This lawsuit was followed by another in 2014, where cast members from Texas Car Wars, another show produced by the same company, also sued for unpaid wages. Jocelyn's lawsuit against Megalomedia exposed several issues that ultimately contributed to the series' downfall, exposing cracks in the show's foundation that had previously gone unnoticed by the public. In the lawsuit, Jocelyn claimed that the production company had put her in dangerous situations, neglected her well-being, and failed to provide adequate support during the filming process. She also argued that the production company manipulated situations to create drama for the sake of ratings at the expense of the cast members, which often led to dangerous scenarios for them. This included pushing cast members to take on jobs that were riskier than they were led to believe and misrepresenting the difficulty of certain shipments to create more tension and drama. Basically, Jocelyn's allegation proved that the show was less about documenting real-life shipping challenges and more about fabricating drama to keep viewers engaged. And just as you would guess, the lawsuit brought negative attention to Shipping Wars and Megalomedia as the viewers' interest waned off. The show that was once seen as an entertaining reality series became a trendy topic on the internet as an exploitative show. Fans who had enjoyed the earlier seasons began to question the authenticity of what they were watching. This change in perception was significant because the show had thrived on the idea that viewers were getting an inside look at the real challenges of the shipping industry. However, the lawsuit suggested that much of what was presented as reality was, in fact, heavily scripted. Additionally, the lawsuit may have discouraged the original cast members from participating in the new season, fearing that they too might be subjected to similar treatment. And just like Jocelyn's, LB Bonner's legal battle with Megalomedia Inc. has been nothing short of distressing. Bonner, a former participant on My 600 Pound Life, known for its inspiring weight loss journey on the TV show, tragically took his own life in 2018. His family filed a lawsuit against Megalomedia, accusing the production company of gross negligence. The Bonners claim that the producers ignored Bonner's pleas for help and failed to provide the necessary support during his physical and mental decline. The lawsuit alleged that the show's producers had turned a blind eye to Bonner's suffering after his extreme weight loss. The family believed that the pressure from the show, coupled with the lack of support, contributed significantly to his deteriorating health and eventual death. Their claims were serious, and the lawsuit quickly gained attention. In response, Megalomedia denied all allegations. The production company's legal team argued that Bonner's death was not their fault, but was due to his own negligent conduct. They claim that the injuries and damages suffered by the Bonner's family were a result of their son's actions and not the company's wrongdoing. This statement struck a chord with many, as it seemed to shift the blame away from the producers and onto Bonner himself. For fans of My 600 Pound Life, L.B. Bonner is more than just another cast member. He was a beacon of hope and resilience, someone who had faced incredible challenges and had come out stronger on the other side. His death was a devastating blow to those who had followed his journey, and the lawsuit only added an extra layer of pain to the tragedy. The idea that Bonner's death could be blamed on his own negligence was difficult for many to accept. As the lawsuit unfolded, other cast members from My 600 Pound Life came forward with their own allegations against Megalomedia. 6 other former participants filed lawsuits accusing the production company of deliberate negligence. Some claimed that the producers had lied about making medical payments, while others echoed the Bonner family's claims of being ignored and mistreated. These lawsuits painted a troubling picture of a company more concerned with profits than the well-being of its participants. Houston attorney Tony Busby, who represented the Bonner family, became a central figure in the legal battle. He was determined to hold Megalomedia Inc. accountable and even stated that his goal was to end My 600 Pound Life if the show's producers did not make significant changes. Tony's involvement added a new level of intensity to the lawsuit, as he was known for his aggressive legal tactics and his commitment to justice. Despite the mounting legal challenges, Megalomedia continued to deny any wrongdoing. Their legal team argued that the injuries suffered by the Bonner family were not the result of negligence on the part of the producers. Instead, they suggested that other factors beyond the control of the production company were to blame. These numerous legal battles signified one thing: that the production company might be struggling to manage its finances and that they have a bad relationship with their employees. As the lawsuits hit the court, it became apparent that Megalomedia Inc. was indeed facing financial difficulties. The lawsuits also brought attention to the downside of reality television. While these shows may seem lighthearted and entertaining on the surface, they can be a real struggle for the cast and crew of the shows. As viewers become more aware of the company's heinous acts, the show's credibility suffered, leading to a decline in viewership, which also contributed to the eventual fall of the show. Just so you know, when Shipping Wars first aired in 2012, it attracted thousands of viewers per episode, a strong start for any reality TV series. However, years after the back and forth with lawsuits, the show's viewership started declining. The decline was so alarming that it was evident that the show had lost its appeal to its core audience. The drop in viewership also meant that the show was less financially viable for the network. Reality TV shows thrive on advertising revenue, which is closely tied to audience numbers. As ratings fell, so did the show's profitability, making it less attractive for A&E to continue producing. Meanwhile, all these remain mere speculations, as A&E haven't made an official statement on why they initially cut off the show and why it hasn't returned since its short-lived comeback in 2021. Due to the deafening silence of the show producers, the original cast of the show has since opted for other life choices since the show took a break. For the late Roy Garber, it appears his son, Travis, stepped into his shoes to continue the family business in New Hampshire, keeping Roy's memory alive. Anyone would expect he must have picked a thing or two from the lifestyle of his hardworking and business-savvy father. There were instances where Roy showed Travis some tough love on the show just to get him to act right. In a video released by A&E last year detailing some of Roy's memorable moments on the show, we went back in time to see some of the discipline he instilled in Travis before his demise.
I'm picking up my son Travis. I gave him an ultimatum to either go to school or come to work for me. He chose to come to work for me.
Jarrett Joyce, who started with Southern Shipping LLC, continued to work in the shipping industry after the show took a break. Although Jarrett no longer appears on the screen, he is still very active in the business and enjoys sharing his adventures on social media. Similarly, Mark Springer, known for his iconic truck and mutton chops, continues to operate Snoring Board Transport, staying true to his roots in the industry. The cowgirl, Jennifer Brennan, famous for shipping cattle during during the show has shifted her focus to family life and fashion, though her love for Shipping World remains evident. The hotshot couple, Robbie Welsh and Chris Hanna, who left the show for season 6 to focus on their business, continue to thrive in the luxury boat transportation industry, enjoying a successful life together with their children. Other cast members like Suzanne and Scott Baucom, Jessica Samko, and Dusty Davies have all moved on to different ventures, but their contributions to Shipping Wars are still remembered by fans. Right now, all we can do is wait and see whether there will be a new show that will soar to the height of its predecessor, or at least a spin-off. Irrespective of the decision made, one thing is for sure: Shipping Wars will forever hold a special place in the hearts of those who are there to watch the original journey unfold.